Do any of you guys get frequent headaches, feeling of fatigue, or even abdominal pain? Okay, okay. Well, majority of you should have said yes. And you probably think like it'll just go away or like it's nothing super severe that you can just take some pills and quit the pain for a couple hours and it'll be all be fine. But what if I told you that it can lead to something severely that can harm you? In my speech, I want to talk to you guys about becoming aware of gluten. I'm sure we all have those people in our lives who are gluten free, and you ask like the question, why? Why are you like? Is it because you have celiac disease? Is it because you're allergic to something, or is it because you feel like you'll lose weight? So, for those of you who don't know what celiac disease is something that attacks your immune system, and it's hard for you to maintain foods and keep it down. What is gluten? Gluten is something that is made up of two proteins, gliadin and gluten, and it's usually found in any product that has wheat in it, which can lead to like barley or rye, something like that. The side effects of gluten sensitivity are so common that gluten sensitivity is going to be the last thing on your mind. You're not going to think that you have it. You're not going to think that that's the reason. You're just going to want to set it aside and not do it and just take pills, like I said, or go to sleep with something and just think that it'll magically go away. But it won't. The symptoms of gluten sensitivity, like I said, are common. So they can range from things like being fatigued, always tired, to having cramps or headaches or something. And if you don't treat it properly, it can lead to mild sclerosis or even something like Alzheimer's or autism or even ADHD. If you keep disregarding it, it's going to get worse and worse, and then it's going to lead to other problems with other health issues, like I said. The sensitivities are, they can range from being mild and then they can become very severe. It's going to be hard for you to be able to focus on anything that you need to do. It's going to make it harder for you to get through your day and do things that you normally do. I'm going to tell you about a story that David Perlmutter talks about, a 9-year-old girl. This 9-year-old, when you're 9, you're probably in the 3rd or 4th grade, meaning you're still learning how to read, write, articulate, and even put all your ideas together. This girl was starting to have problems focusing in school. She was becoming to go below her grade level, and her parents were unsure if she was going to be able to move on to the next grade. Her problems ranged from not being able to focus on her assignments, not do her homework, sit still, and things like that. So her parents took her to the doctor, and the doctors tried many tests. The tests all came up normal, and her parents were wondering like why, because she's still having these problems and it's getting worse and worse, and they did not know why. So the doctor finally decided to test her for gluten sensitivity. Like I said, it's probably going to be something that's the last thing on your mind, and that last thing on your mind is what could be possibly wrong. And that was her case. She was severely sensitive to gluten. So the doctor recommended that she change her diet immediately, see if it would change. And once she cut out gluten from her diet, she was above her grade level. She was top in her class. And they even figured that she would even be able to skip a grade because she was articulating way better. The benefits of being aware that you have gluten sensitivity can benefit you in your future, regardless of what your past looks like. The antibodies in our body are what protect us from getting sick. So if you don't treat it and you don't take care of your body, so your antibodies can't help you. A lot of people can manifest from getting well aware that they're gluten sensitive so that they can change their diet immediately for the better. You probably didn't know, but 51% of us in America are gluten sensitive, but they don't know it. And that number is way too high. And it's only because nobody talks about gluten. No one, they just keep asking the question, like, why are you gluten? But they don't really want to know the answer. They just ask it because it's not normal, like it's not common. Gluten sensitivity is linked to severe chronic illnesses, like I mentioned before, like Alzheimer's, autism, and even ADHD, for example. Dr. Sanjay Gupta, in his article, Is It Okay to Give Up Gluten? He says it is okay. You don't necessarily have to if you're not gluten sensitive, but it can benefit you more if you don't have to. I'm going to talk to you about ADHD, for example. ADHD is becoming way more common in children nowadays, and not necessarily because it was passed down to them or it just was given to them and they don't know why. But a lot of it can be because they're gluten sensitive and they don't treat that first. If you treat your gluten sensitivity, like you change your diet and you take out gluten, it can possibly enhance the, like, take away your side effects from your other chronic disease like ADHD, and it can help you maintain it. So, like the girl I mentioned before, let's say she did have ADHD. Her getting rid of gluten would help her sit still more. It would help her be able to focus easier and things like that. It will help them control it, all from cutting out one simple thing. Cytokines is something, if you don't know what that is, it's something that negatively attacks your brain function. Our brain is one of the most important things in our body because it sends signals to the rest of our body so they can perform for us. So if cytokines is affecting our body, it's going to affect everything else. To help maintain it, cutting something simple out as gluten, which is just wheat, and honestly, you probably won't even know that it's gone. Because I've met plenty of people, like my alpha leader, for example, she's gluten free, and she still eats things that everyone else does, and it doesn't seem to affect her that much where you're going to miss it. So I hope that me telling you this will help you to go and talk to your doctors about seeing if you are gluten sensitive. Because if you're one of those people who are always tired in class, you can't seem to focus, you can't seem to stay up at night and finish that paper that you need to do, this could probably be your reason. It may not help you with your past, but it can most definitely help you with your future. Becoming aware of gluten can improve brain function, which is something that we all need in order to perform our day to the best of our ability. A quote that says, "Nothing tastes as good as gluten-free makes you feel." And I think this is a very powerful quote because we shouldn't just go based off of our taste buds. If our body is telling us that we're hurting and that we're sick or something like that, we need to listen to it, regardless of how that we tasted. So I hope that my facts that I've told you guys today and my stories influences you guys to go get tested and improve your brain function and the rest of your body. Thank you.